See if she can join this time. Get us on here. Trying again. One more time. What if she can find it? Get them noggins moving, rawhide. You might remember that. Yeah. Send it to her again. All right, let's try one more time. One more time. Boom. Boom. As my little brother likes to say. Boom. Oh, hello there, Betty. Turn your camera
Okay.
around. Dr. Helm, can you see me this time?
No, but let's just go.
Okay. Well, we'll fix it for next time. But I faithfully, I'm here with you. I can see you. So have it for later on. But
Okay.
how
So
you
that
doing?
means I probably won't, my side eye won't nearly be as effective.
I don't know. I mean, it does help to have someone around be like, give them that. I'm giving you sound effects so you can know I'm giving a side eye situation.
Okay.
Okay, because you
Okay.
do it really well. I mean, can I see another example of your side eye? Yeah, there you go. So I feel
Okay.
like I'm in trouble right now just looking at you. So, but
Well,
we'll
hi,
see.
everybody. Hey,
Yes.
KP.
Hello there, Dr. Helm. I got your name
So
right this week.
you did. You did. You did. So this is episode 2.
Episode 2. They let us back on.
They let
What's
us back
going
on.
on? They let us
Can
back
I
on.
say
What's
hi to
going?
the 2 people who are listening?
Yes, you and me. That's 2.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
But good thing is we're back. Riffing while black, 2 minds, 1 vibe, and occasional side eye. That's us doing our thing. But really glad to be with you again. We have a lot of topics that we want to talk about. We'll see if we have time to to talk about all of them. But I want to determine which one's going to be the side eye because we got the Jeffrey Epstein situation.
There's a
And
lot
we
of
got
side eye
I'm,
happening.
I'm
So
feeling
this
some
is what going to be a mix of the serious and the silly.
yes. Then we got
Okay.
the whole is DEI dead. Then we want to
Mhm.
talk about some psychology, all of it's psychology, but this one is about flirting, charisma versus micro cheating.
Okay.
And the last one we had was the Gen Z stare.
Yeah.
And
I
something about
wonder,
them.
have people been hearing about the Gen Z stare?
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's just us Gen Xers. But and another part of that was about the fact that that generation apparently is having less sex.
Yeah, they said their Gen Zers are in a sex recession.
That's
So we'll have to
economical.
recessing from sex. So we'll have to look at that.
All right. Well, let's do our first grounding card, our only grounding card today,
Okay.
and then we'll move
Okay, go
into our
ahead.
topics. Um, this one for today is I'm arriving here feeling, and I'm putting it on the screen, but you can't see it right now.
No, I can't
I,
see it because I can't see you, but that's okay. I don't need to
I,
see you. I know what you look like.
I've seen him before.
And I
I'm
just want to say, hey, Vaughn, how are you? Thanks for logging in.
excellent, excellent. I'm arriving here feeling blank. You want to go first? You're arriving here feeling.
Oh, you know what? I'm arriving here feeling a little frazzled by the technology and the fact that I can't see you, but I will settle in.
I'm doing your interpretation. Yes, I'm settling in. Yes, I'm
Yeah,
settling in.
yeah,
Um, I'm arriving here today feeling a little scared because technology is one of those things. I mean, 10, 20 years ago, it was getting your PowerPoint or your computer to turn on properly. But I'm arriving here a little enthusiastic because I think there's some really good topics that we're going to talk about today. So,
okay,
yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited because I want to hear your thoughts on a few of these things. So we got
okay.
Epstein, we got DEI is dead, the whole relationship. Well, I shouldn't say relationship, but the whole flirting versus micro cheating. and the Gen Z stare. Epstein
Yeah,
feels like the side eye comment a
yeah.
commentary. You want to leave that for later?
Yes, because is DEI dead?
No, I'm the one who believes that it's not, and I'll tell you why I think it's not. I was watching this show. Maybe you've heard of it. It's called Landman, and it's
No.
based about this. Why you gotta say it like that?
I've not heard of that. I'm I'm barely in the world as it is between three kids and all that stuff. But okay, so what is it about?
It's about this a landman, right? He's out in West Texas, and I'll be honest, I'm biased because my mother's side of the family is from West Texas, Mineral Wells, Odessa,
Okay.
all that. And so
Mhm.
every man has a cowboy hat on. All the women are objectified in the most 1985 Dallas TV show kind of way.
Okay.
And for some reason, this show has been relatively popular. It's with who's I can't think of his name. The guy who was in that Sling Blade movie from back in the day. Remember
Billy
Sling
Bob
Blade? Back?
Thornton?
Yes, he's the main
Okay.
character,
I
and
can't even believe I got that right, but okay.
yeah, and he's like 75,000 years old. His wife is 40 years younger than him, and she's gorgeous. She's supposed to be older, but you're like, no, that she's yeah, too much. And I
Okay,
say
now
that because
KP, I'm about to give you side eye. What does this have to do with this DEI dead? Help me
because
understand.
because if this film was made or show was made 30, 40 years ago, they would have not had any inclusion of Latinos or black people or
Mm,
women with a different perspective. So even though for the priority of the characters are kind of stereotypically ridiculous, there's several characters out the storyline who represent a so-called woke mindset, who call out
okay.
sexism and racism and nonsense. But his character is specifically written to be kind of an anti-hero against those things. And the only reason I
Okay.
say it's not dead because if it was dead, they would have ignored all that. But they did.
True.
That's
True.
just that's my
But
that's me.
but the current administration has taken quite the axe to so many DEI initiatives,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
no doubt, no doubt.
Very quickly, right? It's out
Yeah.
of college curricula. It's out of grants. It's all, and I just wonder what the impact of all that will be.
Oh, well, I mean, to me, the direct impact is when we look at unemployment numbers, the number of black women in particular or who are unemployed or underemployed is
Yeah.
very, very high. It's very high.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us were
Yeah.
working in government, we were working in these not educational spaces, nonprofit spaces that directly were impacted by these
Yep.
choices to cut. So that's a real thing. You can't say it's again. I may argue that it's not dead, but it sure is on life support.
It is, and I think that that is tragic in some ways because, whether DEI was done correctly, right? I think that the good, everything is sort of a combination of pros and cons, but the good that it did was to hopefully make people aware that everybody should be able to have a seat at the table. And
Mhm.
without some very structured, targeted initiatives, that typically doesn't happen. So, okay, I agree. It's not dead, but it's on life support.
Yeah, and people are finding other ways to talk about it. We talk about trust and connection, which is kind of the point behind it, right? But then the other challenge is, at least what I see people who are changing. I saw one person call it fair, talking about fairness and stuff like that, or you just say culture and culture and belonging, which is a part of DEI, but it's
Sure.
seen as an additional piece. But it's I think a lot of people are just kind of like holding their breath
Yeah.
like really long and hoping that and this is the truth, there's still opportunities, it's just they're fewer. It was great to have the government behind a lot of these things. It sucks that it's not.
It does. It does. I have a feeling we're going to be talking a lot about that throughout our podcast.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. Well, and for me, on a real practical perspective, it's impacted people's livelihoods, and I hate to see that. Now, I'll speak for myself. It's been a bit of a challenge, more than a challenge, and so trying to find ways of pivoting and moving in a different direction is hard, but necessary. But
Yeah.
cool, cool, cool.
Well,
Anything else on
and I
that?
guess the
I'm sorry.
last thing I'll say on that, I hope in its absence, right, people realize how important structured initiatives are.
Mm-hmm,
Uh,
mm-hmm.
mhm.
Yeah,
So,
definitely, definitely. Well, and the truth of the matter is people continue to show up. It's hard for them to tear that away. You know, it's like once you've seen something, you can't unseen it.
I mean, you can. It's just called denial, but okay.
Yeah, yes, the wonderful denial, the river in Egypt. Uh, cool, cool. Well, do you want to get on? We're going to leave Epstein for later, but you want to talk about this whole flirting versus charisma versus micro cheating? I thought that was an interesting thing for us to talk about.
Yeah, so this is funny. So my neighbor was like, "Hey, I want you guys to talk about this, right?" And so flirting, I'm going to pass this to you, KP, and then we'll talk about some of the differences. So her question was, what's the difference between flirting versus charisma, and can these things lead into micro cheating? So what do you think flirting is, KP?
Let me. Okay, this is a touchy topic for me because
Why?
you
Why is
may.
it a touchy topic for you?
Well, okay. First of all, I was married long enough to know that this is something that comes up in couples a lot. You know, especially if
Yeah.
you have someone with a bit of a personality. I'm not pointing the finger at myself or at you,
Okay. When you
but
when you say a bit of a personality, what
what,
what what
what,
what you
what I mean
saying?
by is someone who's expressive and talks to the waiter and talks to the person coming down the street, man, woman, child. It doesn't matter. Hey, how you doing? How's your day going? You know, that kind of stuff.
You're
Um,
you're implying that that could be sort of considered flirting as opposed to just being nice or friendly.
yes, yes, because there's the question of your intentions, right? Is your intention is to try to, as we like to say, holla? Are you trying to holla? You know, are you
Uh-huh.
trying to flirt with this server who's like a third of my age? And no, or am I just being friendly, right? And for me, because I'm consistently talking to all kinds of people. To me,
Yeah.
it's just me being me. But in the dating life that I'm currently in, which is single, this comes up. Oh, you should talk to everybody. I guess she's real pretty. Um, you know, I guess
So you mean you've been accused of being a flirt? That's what you're saying.
Oh yeah, clearly, clearly,
But
clearly.
you're doing this whole analysis and you're like, no, it's just that I have a good personality.
Yes. Yes.
I'm not flirting, it's just my personality. Has that worked?
First of all, that what you just described would not work. It does not work. Okay,
Oh, okay,
it's just
okay.
my personality. That's like what? Excuse me. But I'm from the school of, particularly when you're dealing with like service industry or just people in general, it's good to pass around positivity. You know, if you talk crazy to people at restaurants and stuff or
Yeah.
at AutoZone, I guarantee you they're gonna be spitting in your drink. So I've just learned it. It's like, hey, how you doing? What's your name? I want to say, hey, buddy. You know, so I tend to be that, and I'm that way with men, women. Doesn't matter. So for me, I
Mhm.
kind of see it as me being this part of my personality. But for
Okay.
some people, it can be they rather not. They see this is a business transaction, and let's keep it
So
business.
it's contextual.
Yes,
You would say you're just trying to be friendly,
yes,
but other people might consider that flirting,
yes,
right? And you're thinking it's about what is your intention when
yes,
you make a connection with somebody.
yes, yes. What is your connection? What are you trying to achieve when you're going about it? And I'll be honest. If I go out with a bunch of my homeboys and we see someone who's attractive, clearly there's an intentionality that's different. I'm
Uh-huh.
hollering because I want her attention, or I
Uh-huh.
want to get some see if this is someone who can I can go further than just this conversation. There's an intentionality behind it from before you open your mouth, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And for me, that's flirting.
Okay. I'm still not clear on the difference based on the definition, but that's okay. I think it is contextual. And it,
Mhm.
it also, if you're with somebody who doesn't like that part, how do you handle that? Someone says, look, we go out, you flirt with other people. I don't like that. Which, by the way, as a couples counselor happens all the time.
So what do you do
All
about
the
that?
time.
So what do you do about
What?
that? You're talking about now established relationships. I'm thinking more of it when I'm just meeting somebody. But how do you navigate that what seems like a polarity in my head, but for a lot of people,
Yeah.
it feels like the same thing.
So how do I navigate it? Like in therapy as a
Yeah,
couples
yeah,
counselor?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm. Well, so a lot of times couples don't discuss that stuff up front.
Mm, mm,
Right. So,
mm,
people don't have conversations about what is cheating, right?
mm,
Behaviors they're comfortable with. That conversation typically, there's a sort of implied contract filled with expectations
mm,
within romantic relationships that people never actually talk about until
mm,
your partner breaks the expectation,
mm.
right? So flirting typically doesn't get talked about until one person flirts and the other person has a problem with it.
Or they're accused of flirting, to be clear,
Ex-
Dr. Carol.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And so, how do I handle that is we have the conversation about what expectations got broken. Is there a history there of this
Mhm,
person dismissing your concerns? Is
mhm,
it an insecurity thing? So I really think it's about drilling down
mhm,
in finding what is the kind of issue, what's the
mhm,
real issue. Hmm.
mhm, mhm. I say I like that because having a conversation about what is this contract we're creating or have created
Yes.
for ourselves, unsaid and said. Hence
Yep.
why the conversation around flirting is one that happens within the first or second date. It's just for me.
But do you think it does?
Oh no! Oh, I'm not saying for everybody else. I'm talking about me. For
Oh,
me.
do you bring it up?
Oh yeah, bring it up.
Oh, okay, and how do you bring it up?
I
Curious minds
mean,
want to know.
there's curious ways of doing it. Like, are you the jealous type?
So you're assessing.
I just want to know what they think of themselves, right? So some people are like, I don't have a jealous bone in my body. Others are like, hell yeah, I'm jealous. They tell you what's up from the jump. So I'm a firm believer when they tell you who they are, you should listen.
Well, that's true. That's true.
And so, and to me, it's not so much how I bring it up. It's like what you said. It's having the conversation. What are they
Sure.
comfortable with? If you're the kind of person who's going to be like, every time I look like, hello, ma'am, could I get some more tea? If that's seen as flirting, we don't have a problem. Just from jump. There's no like, oh, okay, it was so nice getting to meet you. I'm moving on.
You're like, holler.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like there are so many things, right, that couples don't discuss. So micro cheating.
Oh, that's a whole other thing there.
It
Oof.
is. It is. But it's kind of connected,
It is.
right? Because
It is.
how do you get to micro cheating? You often get there by flirting.
I mean, no doubt.
Some people would consider flirting micro cheating. It's like cheating a little bit. It's not the whole cheat. It's just a
I mean, I guess I feel like there's an intentionality, right? There's some people that's just kind of their MO. That's anytime they come across someone or they're always looking, they're always kind of scanning and looking for something, right? In hopes
yeah,
that maybe it will develop into something more. Others,
yeah.
I do think there are some people who maybe started off as just being, hey, we're having a good relationship, maybe a work situation, and then it develops into something else because there's
Hmm.
some boundaries that were crossed. Some there was some exclusivity that they were applying to that relationship that they weren't even applying to their marriage, right? They're having
Hmm.
like so. To me, a tale is when you start complaining about your partner to your friends. That to me
Sure.
is like a tale. It's like, oh, wait a minute.
Well, sort of the internalized dialogue, like we tell ourselves a narrative about our partner. And when it flips from being mostly positive to mostly negative, I find like, okay, that's predictive of some issues. It doesn't have to be serious issues, but
Right,
just kind
right.
of where you are in your relationship. Yeah.
Definitely,
But
definitely,
the
definitely.
the I see this all the time. People come in all the time with this whole idea of who their partner is liking, right? Right. Or sending direct messages to, right?
Right,
And how these things begin to shape your relationship, and people consider it cheating.
right, right. And I get that on the surface level. I guess for the things I look for is when people hide those relationships from their partner, right? Like
Well,
they know
because they tell
nothing.
themselves it's nothing. I don't have
Right,
to say anything
right.
because it's not really a thing.
Yeah, yeah, but
Yeah.
I plan my day around making time. I make time to see her or him, right? I tell
Yeah.
them things that I
Right.
don't tell anyone else. We
Yes.
have secret time, and I don't tell my partner that we're spending that time together. Those are the kind of things I get real worried
True.
about when I hear. because now you're
Yeah.
making it
So that
exclusive,
gets at
right?
the intention piece, right? That you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah, very much the intentionality behind it. I want
Yeah,
something special and serious, and not even serious, but I. Another one is I have something with them that I don't have with anyone else,
true.
particularly with my partner.
Well, and there's a denial component too,
Oh,
right? Like, what are you talking about? It's not that serious. I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't me. I didn't cheat, you know. So the denial piece. So when your partner's like, that hurts me, please don't do it, right?
right, right,
The person doing it will convince themselves that it's not really a big deal and
right.
often be dismissive of their partner's concerns, which is a red flag.
Oh, it is because that's that part of me that says, "Nigga, please." You over here doing some of the things or all the things we were talking about, and you trying to tell me. And so, like you said, it's the denial of reality. It's the
Yeah.
gaslighting. It's the minimizing. I'm like, okay, I've been to this movie before.
Yeah. Well, and the micro part of cheating doesn't diminish the damage.
Yes, yes. Well, because yeah, you're right. Because there is the damage, right? But then for
Yeah.
some people, it goes unsaid for a period of time, right?
Hmm.
And they don't say anything. They kind of look the other way, and it really pisses them. And they're actually deeply hurt by it. Maybe it's because of the current relationship. Maybe because of past relationships. Maybe they watch their family do these kinds of things. But it
Yeah.
just sits there under the surface, just just kind of waiting to come out. And then one day they bring it up, and they're like, next thing you are you like, and of course the guy or woman's been like, well, where did this come from? They're confused. But it was
Yeah.
always there. They just, like you said at the beginning, they're not talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah. So flirting, most people, depending on how it's done, a lot of people feel like that's okay, depending, right? Especially if you do it in front of your partner. It is an extension of your personality. Is there such thing as harmless flirting? I think there is. But if your partner's like, I don't like that, can you
Yeah,
please not do that? Or it
yeah,
takes on a different tone. I think it's
yeah,
something to be taken seriously.
yeah,
But
yeah.
the slippery slope of micro cheating often gets dismissed, and then people find themselves in situations that, oh, you whoops, I slipped. Whoops.
Yeah, you done slipped up into her crotch, and now
You're terrible. You are
you,
terrible.
like the sign says, slippery when wet. Come on now, he knew what
You're
was going on.
so bad. I'm giving you major side eye now. I can't even see you on this screen. I'm like, get out of here. Get out of
I'm
here.
just saying that, but this is my frustration, right? I'm going to be stereotypical here. It's guys, right, who will be like, "Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. It wasn't me." Blah blah blah. And it's like, bro, I mean, come on. Even the person you were corresponding with knew this was something different and special.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
they're somehow going to gaslight others themselves, which is maybe part of the problem. They're not even being truthful to themselves, let
Yeah.
alone other people in their lives.
If you're hiding it from your partner, it's a problem.
Yes. That to
Yeah.
me, that's kind of the red. I mean, there's other red flags, but that's one of the big ones. Like I'm
Yeah.
hiding it. I'm not. I'm
If
secret.
your partner knew what you were doing, would they be okay with it?
Mm-mm.
So
No, she would not.
I'm still mad at you for that crotch comment. So I'm gonna leave that one there. Oh, okay. Okay. So KP, I've
Uh-huh.
been hearing a lot about a topic.
What's that?
The Gen Z stare.
Yeah. It's yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so just for context, you guys have probably already figured out that we're both kind of Gen Xers.
hmm
And I've been reading about the Gen Z stare. Do you know what that is?
I had to go look it up, but I do know what it is because when I looked it up, I'm like, yeah, I know exactly because that stare, just that blank look on your face when you ask them something like, "Hey, can you take out the garbage?" And they just stare at you like, like what they really when they stare at you, what they're really saying is, "Nigga, please, I ain't doing that."
So wait, are your kids Gen Z?
Let me see. They were born in '98 and 2000, so I think that makes them. So yeah, them fools be just
Okay.
looking at me, looking at me.
And my daughter is at the very end of Gen Z. She's 13, right?
Okay,
And then I have
okay.
two sons, and they're a little bit younger than that, and so they're Gen Alpha. I haven't seen it with her. I have seen it with them, right?
hmm
And so in kind of looking at what they're saying about this Gen Z stare,
hmm
they're sort of like comparing and despairing, right?
Yeah,
This whole idea that Gen Z one is very much into technology and some
Mhm.
social skills might be getting lost. But this constant source of comparison with social media about what you look like and how you're supposed to be and how you're supposed to
Mhm.
sound, and it's
Mhm.
paralyzing, right? So do you feel like the stare is a dismissive response or an anxious response?
I think it's a little dismissive because there's been plenty of times my mother looked at me and said, "What are you just looking at me for? Just do what I told you to do," you know? And so I don't know if if I were to measure this, I don't know if they disproportionately do it more than our generation, but I don't know. But one of the things I heard is that it's not so much the stare, it's what's going on in their mind when they're staring. And if in their
Okay,
mind
and
they're kind of,
we probably need to have a Gen Zer on here to
yeah,
tell us more about it. But what have you sort of ascertained about what's in the mind?
well, they're kind of, they're kind of like, they're not sure what to say. Or another thing is in their mind, like, I ain't doing that. Like, or who are you talking to? Or it didn't register at all because I got ADHD and I saw a squirrel just behind you.
Yeah, but there's all this kind of trash talking about the problem with Gen Z, right? And how they're not employable. And as a college professor, I work a lot with Gen Z, and I don't see it there.
No, I hear you. I honor a lot of what Gen Z is doing in comparison to us. For a lot of us, we were latchkey kids on our own with no
Yeah.
guidance, trying to figure this stuff on our own. And then with this generation, we respond by trying to, give them more care and supervision and stuff like that. And then we accuse them for not being socially attuned or adept enough, or we baby them or we coddle them. I'm like, well, we did it. If it's true, we did it. So
Right.
so and so I think there's a lot that they see that I think we can learn from.
Mhm.
Example is this idea that you're supposed to just churn and burn your whole life and career and have nothing left over, despite the hard
Yeah.
work. They're like, no, I want to go on a vacation or I want to go travel the world. And we're, of course, saying that's impractical, but at least they're asking the question of, is it possible? I can do it
Hmm.
now versus waiting until I'm retired one day.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a good point. Maybe we're just jealous because we're still in the grind.
That's a true thing. I mean, we're the generation that's sandwiched between the one before us and the ones after us. Uh,
Well, and that we're the one who, Gen Xers are forgotten about. Not that we care, but people like there's the boomers, there's the millennials.
right. And then you're right about the Gen X. They're like, I don't care.
I don't care. Yeah, like that's fine. We don't care.
But what's this
Go
business
back to
about
work.
them having less sex? I had to do a little
Oh
research on
yeah.
it.
So the Gen Z, they're calling it a sex recession. So they're saying, right, and this is just based on some articles that I've been reading about it. They're saying that this generation has less sex than previous generations, and that it's due to a couple of influences. One, the pandemic,
Yeah.
right? Two, the amount of technology, right? And three, sort of, there's less, at least according to this article, socializing and social interactions. And so, they're saying basically that a lot of kids and young adults in Gen Z don't know how to form intimate relationships.
Okay. This is my first question. What kind of sex
Okay.
are we talking about? Are we talking about you know anal, vaginal, self? I mean, what's
The
the
article,
definition?
you just got to get nasty, don't you?
No, I'm just saying
I am
because
so
I
giving
can't
you side
imagine
eye right
them.
now. The article did not break down respective sexual acts.
I think they
Crazy.
need to because I don't think they're
No,
not having sex. They're just having a different kind of sex. That's just me.
that you read the same article. It didn't say anything about that. What's
I know. That's the first. I'm sorry. I'm thinking like
wrong with
like
you?
a psychologist. I'm like, so what
Wrong
kind
with
of
you?
what's the quality and quantity of the sex that we're talking about here?
Don't. It didn't say all that. Such side eye.
Okay.
Side eye.
Yes, I
They
know.
just said they're in a sex recession. They're not having nearly the amount of sex that previous generations have had.
Well,
Right.
okay.
And
This
They're
Okay, I'm sorry.
framing it like it's a problem because they're sort of framing like this is one type of intimacy, like emotional intimacy, sexual
Yeah.
intimacy, and they're saying it does not bode well, at least this article, for future relationships.
Okay, okay. There might be some truth there. However, again, the question I have is: let's talk about Gen X and all the lies we told about having sex when we weren't having sex. Okay, I had these Negroes back in high school talking about, yeah, yeah, man, I didn't tap that. No, you didn't. You lying. You didn't know. First of all, and if you did tap, you didn't know what you were doing. So let's talk
Well,
about that. So there's a lot of lying going on in Gen X. I just want to. So I'm again. I'm questioning this because we be lying about the stuff we did. I know I did.
I learned a lot about you today.
I mean, I was in high school. I was insecure. I didn't know anything.
I mean, weren't we all back then?
Exactly. So I don't know. Maybe this generation is a little more honest.
Maybe. I mean, maybe,
I mean, could you
maybe.
imagine if you just said when you were, what I'm trying to imagine is when I was 16, 17, 18 years old, just saying, no, I ain't had none. And just been okay with it. No, I ain't getting none. A zero. I'm not, matter of fact, I'm not even getting close. I'm over
Well,
here
and
by
sex,
myself.
I mean, people in sex research lie. I mean,
This is true.
facts,
Facts.
facts,
So,
facts.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and their story is still being written, so it's going to be interesting
Yeah,
to see
maybe
who.
they'll,
Yeah, go ahead.
no, maybe they'll just have, maybe they have less sex at the beginning and then they'll have a lot of it in during their midlife crisis. And they'll just, they'll get a lot of it later on. They're just kind of storing it up. No?
They're storing it up. Okay. Well, I guess we'll find out when we're in the old folks' home.
I
Maybe
mean,
they'll
but okay, that's another
maybe
place.
they will share stories with us.
Hey, that's another place there's supposedly supposed to be having a lot of sex is old folks home. Like you're ending
Wow.
your life, all the rules don't apply. Whatever STDs you have, no one cares.
Well, actually, it's true that there's been some recent research that boomers, there's sort of this wave of STDs among boomers. So
Mhm,
clearly
mhm.
boomers are having sex.
Hey, when my grandfather passed away, first thing I learned was who all his girlfriends were at that assisted living place. They're like, this one woman, she came out, she goes, I can't believe he messed with that woman. She, her feet look like she'd been playing soccer with wolves. I'm like, what?
Well, Grandpa was a Rolling Stone, huh?
Man, he's like, look, I don't care. Y'all can say what you want.
That's hilarious.
He didn't even have the blue pill. That's the crazy thing.
I mean, I guess that bodes well for you and your
I
dad
don't know.
and all the males in your family, maybe.
No, no, it's not true. I can tell you that for a fact. It's random, totally random.
You are in rare form today, my friend.
I can't help it. I can't. But hey, we're getting closer to our time. I want to get to another one of our little djembe card. This one
Okay.
says, this is an engagement card. It says, three ways I connect with my community are blank, blank, and blank.
3 ways I connect with my community. Oh boy, that's a tough one.
It's a little tough.
Well, it's tough because you're a member of multiple communities.
Yes, yes. So whatever community, which one do you want to go with?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe my work community?
Okay, okay. How do you connect with them?
One, I show up.
Yes, that's half the battle, right?
Two, I actively participate. And three, I give side eye when required.
The side eye is necessary. You
Especially
know,
in meetings. My friends know who they are.
because when everything is going on, they look at you, they're like,
They do.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, everything shows on my face. So there's lots of side eye happening in certain meetings. Yes. And how about you? How about you?
Well, I agree with you. Definitely showing up. Part of me is like there's a group of guys who are and women who we have happy hour and participating in kind of identifying places we can go.
Hmm.
Some of us are like, wherever you want to go, let's just go. Me, I'm like looking for places we should go and try those places out.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, just coming, being present, it's really easy to come and just be like, no
Yeah.
energy, whatever. But I try to be present, and sometimes I'm not always present, but I'm intentional about coming with an intention of being present.
Mm-hmm. So I think engagement, any sort of any community, if you really want to be a part of it, you have to be engaged.
Right, right. Which is kind of funny because this is just a little thing. I've known people who will talk about dating life and
Yeah.
they'll complain about their date and they'll go out and they're like, that was so boring, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, how were you feeling when you went out? I said, I really didn't want to go in the first place. I'm like, well, then you didn't show up. You
Mm-hmm.
just kind of were there to eat your dinner and then leave. Yeah, the date went bad. You didn't come, you weren't present. And of
Mm-hmm.
course, people don't like to hear that, but
Or maybe they got the ick. Maybe that someone showed
I
up and they're
mean,
like, nah, that's
there's
not for
that.
me. You're
There's
not
that.
for me. You're not for me.
You're not my people.
You're not my people.
You wearing those Birkenstocks. I'm sorry, I can't go out with you.
How are you giving hate to Birkenstock wearers?
I've been there all my life. I can't stand
Hey,
those things.
it doesn't have to be your thing. It doesn't have to be your
No,
thing.
no, no, not at all.
Yeah.
No. So, so
But the
no,
engagement piece is real, right?
yes, it
It's
is.
easy to physically show up and not be engaged.
Totally, totally. And so even if it's let's say the date's not going to go anywhere, they're not your people. Cool, cool, that's all good. But can you still show up in some small way, assuming they're not giving you the ick factor? You know,
But do you have to show up if
no,
you're
you
like,
can turn
do you
around.
have to show up? Yeah.
No, you just, I've seen women literally walk in the bar, see the person they're supposed to be on at the end, and will turn around. I'm like, okay,
Oh, and now that's bad. That's
it
not.
is. It
Yeah,
feels
don't
bad.
do that.
It feels bad. It's not what I personally recommended. It's happened to me a few times.
It
But
happened to you?
yeah, I like to think
I
it
mean,
shouldn't happen to
I
me.
got stood up before when I was yes, I got stood up before. But you're saying that you like had a date and somebody would walk in and then see you and walk out?
I, I know of at least one. Another one, she didn't.
Real
She didn't wait.
jacked up. That's
She
messy. I don't like that.
she didn't wait till she got in the building. She stayed in the parking lot.
That, that is so foul.
It's funny now. At the time, I was like, "Damn!" I was
Damn.
smelling my armpits.
Oh.
Like, did I bathe today?
Did you have a word? Like, what happened afterwards? You're like, what's up?
Nah. It was no nothing. It was nothing. It was just moving on. And for me, it's like, all right, it's all good. Moving on.
Yeah, I guess. But you know what? Even if you're dating and this isn't somebody who you think you're going to have a connection with, right? Common human courtesy. Like, you don't stand somebody up. That's real foul.
Yeah, but you're a nice person. Not everyone's nice.
Sometimes. Only sometimes.
Sometimes. But hey,
Sometimes. Yeah.
we got to get to our our side eye. That's the
Okay.
Epstein
Our
situation.
side eye as we wrap it up. All right.
We got Epstein. What have you been hearing? Jeffrey.
Jeffrey. Mm-hmm. Okay. You go first.
Okay. Well, this is what I know. Jeffrey. Everyone knows that Jeffrey Epstein went to jail. He's known for being basically a pedophiliac, or what is the right word. And he had a woman who actually coordinated these events with underage women. And so
Mm-hmm.
now it's out in the news because it's suspected that President Trump was somehow involved with that. And so MAGAs have had, when I see that, say, make America great again, have had whole conspiracies set up saying that not just maybe Trump was involved, but Bill Clinton, all these other
Mm-hmm.
politicians on both sides of the political aisle. And so they
Mm-hmm.
want the real facts to come out. The 230,000 pages, or maybe less than that. Maybe I'm mixing it with someone else. But there's all this evidence that's out there that's supposedly implicating different folks.
Mm-hmm.
And Trump has the opportunity to share that information, but has been questioning his own party, saying, who's still talking about this? And
Mm-hmm.
the cool thing, I'll be honest, I kind of did a little clapping, a little church clapping, and saying, watching the Nick Fuentes and others of the world pissed off with Trump, calling him, all kinds of names under the sun, really
Mm-hmm.
questioning him as a person. And so it's been interesting to see all of this, and
Mm-hmm.
the attempts to shut it down by bringing up MLK, by bringing up charges
Sure.
supposedly against Obama as a distraction from the conversation around. I mean,
Sure.
even the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, saying, "We're going to take an early vacation until September, so we don't have to vote or
Nothing
talk
to
about
see
this."
here. Nothing to see here. You know, I mean, I guess I'll say absolute power corrupts absolutely, right? And I think that oftentimes people with a lot of power, it can contribute to a distorted perspective
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
because everybody oftentimes gives you what you want so they can get close to the power.
Yes. Yes.
And so and it contributes to abusing other people, not caring about other people, and not everybody uses their power for bad, but
Hmm.
taking liberties against other people's humanities because you can afford not to give a damn.
Right. 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 And I'll be honest, when all that stuff was coming out, especially after Epstein's suicide, and just the clamor to seemingly shut all that conversation. I mean, let's be clear. This happened during the Trump first administration.
Hmm.
Nothing was really done with it during the Biden administration. And then when it came up again during the second administration of Trump, it's come up and it's kind of been blowing up. But we've been
Yeah.
sitting on this for years. And so now, and
Yeah.
then there
It
was
is
this,
interesting that it's getting so much press right now.
yeah, well, because it was conspiracy. It was conspiracy the MAGA community was really hung up on. And, there's supposed to be a list of names, and we need to see those names. And this is the
Hmm.
problem, which I think is the real agenda, is to set up so much confusion and misunderstanding and misinformation that you can't see which way is up. So
Right.
even if information does come out and information eventually is released, even that has to be questioned as being,
Yeah.
well, did they really do a good job? And was there really a full investigation?
Well, you're
So,
saying it's like a shell game, right? Where you
yep,
keep moving the pieces around and
yep,
distracting the eye so that our attention is pulled away to look at other things while there's a cover up or whatever else is happening.
right, totally, totally. And I think one of
Yeah.
my frustration is that this is just another one of those things that we knew this administration was going to be focused on as another distraction. And I'll be honest, it was nice to have a few years of a little bit more normalcy and quiet with Biden, even though I didn't agree with everything he did. But I
Hmm.
think there's some people who like all this messiness. I think there's some people who like all this drama. You know that person who says, "I hate drama," but they constantly
Yeah.
have drama around them.
See, drama in a reality show is okay. I just don't want it in government. So for entertainment purposes, you can tune into drama, but I don't. I wish it wasn't in government.
Mm-mm. I mean, can I get my Social Security check? Can I get my unemployment without having to worry about
No,
where it's coming
you
from?
won't. You won't have any of those things
None, zero. I mean,
going
it's
forward. Yeah.
it's gonna be a
Yeah.
rough 18 months. So we definitely
Ah,
give it an official side eye to all of this.
yes, that's my official side eye.
Well, we're near wrapping up time, and I want to give our last card, our celebration
Okay.
card. And the one I want to leave us with today is, I'm leaving here today with blank. I'm leaving here today with blank.
Oh, I'm leaving here today with blank. I guess I'm leaving here today with renewed energy about some of the topics that we discussed and
Mm,
eager to learn more. It's like
mm,
things like, the Gen Z stare, learning more about Gen Zers,
yeah,
um, our intriguing conversation about flirting versus microcheating. So I'm leaving here with renewed energy.
yeah. I'm leaving here with renewed energy, and then thinking about if I go on a date anytime soon, is this conversation gonna come up? That's. I'm leaving
You
here
let me
wondering.
know. We can make that the topic of our next podcast if it
No,
does.
no, don't want. See, you got me revealing too many of my secrets, ma'am.
Well, it's what we do for a living.
That is true. That is true.
Well, it's always good I'd say to see you, except I still can't see you. So it's always good to talk to you.
Well, we'll make sure to solve for this problem before next time. We'll be back next Thursday,
That's right.
same bad time, same bad channel, and hopefully I'll see you there doing well and enjoying. Unfortunately, I have to go see my uncle passed away this 2 weeks ago, so
Oh,
I'm
I'm
going to
sorry
his
to hear that,
funeral.
Casey.
Oh,
Oh,
thank you. And I'm also really proud to spend some time with my family and spend some time remembering him because he was good people. Larry Prince.
all right. Well, hang in there with that.
All right. Well, thank you, and hey, I'll talk to you soon. All right.
All right. Bye, everybody. Bye,
All right.
KP.
See ya.
Bye bye.